Fresh air, friendships, and exercise. These are the obvious benefits when kids play team sports. But study after study shows that they get even more out of being on a team. Students who play sports have more confidence, better grades, and are even less likely to use drugs. But at age 13, there is often a huge drop-off in sports participation. Experts say it's because sports stop being fun for athletes, parents, and coaches.
The kids stop participating in youth sports at about age 13 for a lot of reasons. But the main reason is that they stop having fun. It's because they are not having satisfying relationships with their teammates, with their coaches, and with their parents. There are too much pressures being put on them. And those are the major reasons that they drop out of sports.
The Promise of Good Sports is a nonprofit organization dedicated to making team sports fun and beneficial to all involved. PGS believes that most youth sports programs have failed to adequately equip athletes, parents, and coaches to reap the full range of benefits from the shared sports experiences.
Youth sports needs some kind of a structure in which parents, coaches, and athletes can interact, because they normally don't have that opportunity. And since it requires all three of them to be participants in creating an environment that is positive for the children, you have to set this up. It's not a part of the sports tradition.
PGS has developed a game plan to take the tension out of team sports and letting athletes focus on the fun of the game. The experts at PGS recommend several easily administered exercises to improve communication between coaches, parents, and athletes.
It's very easy to look at and criticize, oh, I can't believe she didn't get that hit or get that serve in. So part of the PGS training was having the players, my daughter, teach me how to do a drill or do a serve. So it gave her the ability, one, to understand what it means to coach, and gave me a true appreciation of what it means to actually serve or do a skill. It's not nearly as easy as it seems on the sidelines.
I think the one that helps the most and is also the most interesting one is when you have parents kind of adopt a player for a day, and instead of solely focusing on their child, they focus on another girl on the team. And I think it gives the team a better dynamic, because all of a sudden you have other parents coming up to you and telling you that you had a great game as opposed to just your own, and it creates a stronger bond between the players and the parents.
We had this thing where the parents would play and the players would coach, and to me that exercise stood out the most, just because it got the parents to be more open to the kids, and the kids were able to show the parents how difficult some of the situations are.
For me, the most important exercise was really filling out the activity form of like what we expected from our parents and like what our coach expected from us, because this was a new team for us and a new coach for me personally, and it really opened up a line of communication for like in between him and the team and our parents and him, and it just showed everyone that like we were all on the same page and that like everyone had each other's back.
These initiatives not only reduce misunderstandings, but also add to the joy of participation on a sports team, both of which can translate into success on the playing field.
One of the wonderments we had about PGS when we first started implementing it was, is it going to help the athletes, have that keen sense of fierce competition, and are they going to be intense enough, or is it going to be something that's going to defocus them? And our experience was that if kids can go out there in a relaxed environment, knowing that their parents are going to be cheering for them no matter what, knowing that their parents are supporting them through whatever it is that they're working on, through the progress and not through the outcome, that they actually play much better.
Sports help develop character and confidence as long as we remember it's just a game. When athletes, coaches, and parents work together, everybody wins. The Promise of Good Sports helps kids, parents, and coaches make the most out of team sports. PGS works with schools and sports clubs to develop programs that help prevent rather than remedy problems. By helping these groups work together, PGS creates a supportive environment where athletes, coaches, and parents can flourish.
The goal of PGS is to try to get parents, coaches, and athletes on the same page. In other words, it's important for them to all work together in order for them to have a successful climate for their team. So the things that we try to do with our programming is to prepare coaches, parents, and athletes for working together to achieve their objectives.
The Promise of Good Sports is comprised of internationally recognized youth sports scholars, educators, and clinicians who know that supportive school programs enhance the well-being of children and their families. Rather than recommending strict guidelines for sports teams, PGS recommends highly effective and efficient exercises for getting athletes, coaches, and parents on the same page so that everyone assumes responsibility for creating a positive, upbeat team climate.
Generally speaking, I think that PGS has given out great examples of what really happens. So when you're going through these sessions that the course teaches, they talk about real issues like playing time. At the club level, parents are paying to see their kids play. So it's not as if this is a gym class where everybody gets free participation and free opportunity to play. It's definitely a selective type service, and so with that, conversations have come up. So PGS has helped me field those types of questions, field those conversations. So again, I think PGS at the end of the day really wrapped everything together and gave us really great concrete examples to help us navigate through specific situations with a parent or a player and really sideline any sort of ill feelings that could potentially come down the road.
I think a lot of times in our society it's all about winning. And really, I think the polls that we've seen, the biggest thing is when it comes right down to it, it doesn't matter if they're the 12-year-olds or the 18s, winning is not the most important thing in their experience. So I think that really helps, PGS has helped us be more aware of that and focus on the things that are important and teaching our kids about team sports.
The PGS group helped us sort of figure out ways to communicate and made us think not just how we're thinking as a coach, but to, okay, what are the parents feeling or what are the players feeling? What's going on in their mind and not just ours. So it made us think in different directions.
The Promise of Good Sports program has helped me navigate difficult subjects by providing a format and a layout for how you go about talking about these things. The most difficult thing about having team situations is you feel like you don't know how to handle them because there are so many people involved. So having a program that allows you to have sort of a roadmap for how you go about fixing these problems really helps.
Without this PGS program, we parents come in focused on the result. The day, the tournament, the game, the point, and with the PGS experience in the back of our minds now, we are thinking about the big picture, about our relationship with our daughter.
The future of PGS resides with the about 40 million children that are playing school or club sports in this country. We feel that many of the programs could benefit from an activity that would provide them with an opportunity to interact in an effective way, to create that kind of climate that will allow them to, everybody to have a good experience, the coaches, the parents, and the athletes.
By adopting PGS's recommendations, teams experience improved performance, camaraderie, and definitely more fun. Help your team get the most out of competitive sports. Visit promiseofgoodsports.org.